Hi guys, welcome to the Shamayim Podcast. My name is Carolina and today I'm going to be talking about time. I wanted to talk about time for a long time because I also want to talk about eventually going further and talk about power, sovereignty, this construction of time and timelines and all of this, but really wanted to make it grounded and accessible to everybody. So let us begin. So as we know, time in the sense of the clock and in the sense of the calendar is not really real, is it? Because it was mostly it had been invented and imagined by many cultures, but it was only in the Roman time that concept was really invented, and so it's funny to see that somebody invented something and then we all must obey. But okay. Of course, today I want to talk about where is time in ourselves, right? Because we are everything. We are all of these concepts we see as culture, and it's also reflecting who we are. So I really want to take it to the beginning and talk about it. Time in the human body is something that starts in this chakra, right? In the solar plexus chakra. To the people who don't know what chakra is, I'm gonna also put a link there so you can see other people talking about chakras fully, but I'm not going to do that video. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about free first, the first free, and so we can rise up to time. So everything starts on the ground, right? In this chakra of the maybe if I stand up. So everything starts in this chakra, right? The root. And in the root, you are living. You are you are here, right? You are grounded, you are alive. You exist. And then you go to the second chakra, that's here, in our womb, and it's the sacral chakra. And in the sacral chakra, it's yes, you are here, right? The first, but then you have to move. Then you connect with things, with people. Then you're you have your inclinations to one side or to the other side. And I have a feeling that I'm not going to explain this good, but okay. Let's try. So when you can find your inclinations, or where you want to walk towards, you reach this place of who I am, right? Because I exist, and I made the choice of existing in some way. I can give you an example. For me, I like creativity. I like to do art. For other people, it can be other different interests, right? Or I'm attracted to that kind of people. For you can be attracted to a different person, and that's the second chakra, that it's related to your relationship with the world, right? And if you're doing all of this good, if you exist good, and if you are going forward with your inclinations, with what you like, what's most helpful for you, what's most healthy for you, what's most exciting for you, you are good, and then you can rise up. And then you rise to the solar plexus, and that's what we are going to talk about today. Because I see many people like talking about manifestations and all of this concepts that are really exciting and that are actually life-changing. But I don't see so many people talk like, for me, those conversations about how you're going to attract in your life, they don't talk about what's behind that, right? Like, yes, we can manifest anything, but how do we do that? How do we understand the world that's behind it? And that's the video I really wanted to make for you, because it's all connected with time. It's where time starts, and with focus. So, like, we understand that we have at least in the first 7 chakras, we have this free. And when we get here, there's a certain change that happens within ours. We call it our first powers. Because, like, in the first chakra, or anyone that's entering their spiritual journey right now, the first thing, at least, like, maybe it's not for everybody, but it happened to me like this. I already told that story last time. You understand that there is no time. And you start to realize that your mind is never on the time that it's now. You start to understand that everything you think about is either on the past or is it on the future. And you start to understand that there's a dimension of time that you don't know anything about, right? Because you are never in it. And that's the first, like, riddle of the root chakra, is to fully be here. To fully exist, to fully step in the now. And that can take years of practice, of getting the mind to not feel sorry about the past, or keep running towards a future that doesn't exist. And when you can do this better, you reach the second chakra that's helping you to stay grounded in this now, because we try to be in the now, right? We are trying to be in the now, but every time a thing happens, we have a discussion with somebody else, something is not working in our day lives, and we go immediately back we go immediately to unconsciousness again. We go immediately to, oh my God, this happened before, maybe it's gonna happen now. Or like, God will eventually save me from this and I will have a prosperous future and blah blah blah. You know, you go back to the running tape in your head. This can happen a lot. That's why I said it could take years for us to like really be able to live in the now fully and see it and appreciate it as it is. But once we can stay continuously in this path of the now, we reach the fourth chakra, and it's all about, like I said, attention, power, focus. And everything that happened to me in my spiritual journey, I feel like yes, I made a lot of work. Yes, I almost gave my life to it. But it also happened, everything that happened was so unconscious, you know. It was so much guided. It was so much like, yeah, I'm here, just don't know what I'm doing, but the good beings were sending me all the journeys, all the lessons I needed. And at some point I was guided to be focused, you know, because I wanted to control my own mind. I wanted to remove the time, right? This like past that didn't exist and this future that also didn't exist, and I knew this, so I wanted to remove all of that time. And I was somehow guided, and I was like making I was going deep in meditation, like in the forest and with nature, and I was super guided to start to exercise my attention. And I started to visualize like this leaf of the tree blowing in the wind, and I would stay there. I would literally focus my eye on it until it's so funny to remember, until all the other realities start to crumble, you know. And if you ever like focused your eye on something till it hurts, till you're like crying or something, it's beyond your comfort zone or beyond, you know. It's really funny because everything else starts to disappear, you know. At that moment it was only me and that tree and that leaf, you know, and nothing else was going on in my mind. And of course meditation helps us with this a lot, to like meditate on a candle, to like meditate with water, like a fountain, or, you know, it's really good to do this because that's where actual meditation starts. It's when you focused on the present, you know. And it's always good to focus on nature and the first earth elements, like the earth, water, fire, air. It's always good to focus on those because yeah, it's better. So like, and when you are able to start to focus in this way, you get some kind of power, because like I said, other realities cannot come through, you know. And this is also relating to positivity. You know, some people talk about evil eyes and stuff like this. And from my experience, to be focused is the biggest armor, or like safety belt, or like protection, security we can possibly have. Not only like physical, to our physical bodies, but also when you reach like other chakras, like crown chakra, for example, you need that security, like that spiritual security within yourself, to not have problems with other beings and other dimensions that probably wanna, you know. So like at first you start to really, you want to focus your attention because you, like I said, you wanted to control your mind, and your mind was always running away, right? Like a rabbit going everywhere. And so you learn to focus. You learn to focus by physically visualizing something and hold it. Exercising it more and more. But you also start to connect with other means of focusing, like mantras, like affirmations. And back then it was not to like manifest anything. It was to be in the now, you know, because when you focus your mind starts to be here, right? And now I use different methods. Also, I just want to make millions of videos, you have no idea, but okay, talking about this stuff, because eventually you will focus on yourself, you know. The grounding part and the focusing part is, but okay, I was going back to the beginnings. And so you start to focus on, you start to do visualization, not visualization, you start to do the focusing, right? Just to put your whole being in a unified place, right? To get to the now. But then you start to rise up, and you start to go to the other chakras, and then you start to understand that physical life is not the only place you can live in, and that there are other places of being. And so I had this dream. It was a dream connected to water. I had a lot of second chakra, the sacral elements, because it was about relationships, and it actually had a sea in it. But the part I want to tell you is significant for this video, because I was in front of this sea, right? And I saw this this ring, and I was like, do I catch it? I don't catch it, because it was like in the last waves, you know. It was in the sand, but in the water. And I start to question it. But I like pretty things. I like my jewelry and my shiny stuff. And so I pick it up. And all of a sudden, reality changed, and the ring I had was not a ring anymore. It was like this, when you go to the shop and they have rings, like, and it was this box full of rings. And I was like, this increased, I picked one and now I have a lot. And I liked it. I really liked it. And I how do you explain this energetic things, or like this desires, impulses, and dreams? But it's the first, right? I wanted to continue, and all of a sudden, reality changed again, and I was in this. I was like in this Indian shop selling the rings, and I really found that dream was like really important, because God was showing me how our intention works in this matrix. When you focus your mind on one thing, that thing increases, and if you keep focusing, then it's a huge thing, right? Then it was like me working in that Indian shop, selling the rings to everybody else, and yeah, this was very important because it helped me to see energetic what focus can do in our own lives. People used to tell, like, people have this phrase that they say that if you look for it, then you find it. And focusing is very much like this. And that is why manifestation works. Because if you focus on something, every other reality, like imagine if you want something, but you don't have money to afford it, but you think you're not enough, or you think you're very away from that dream or that thing you want, right? And the thing about focus, right, is when you only see your dream, right, and the other realities that would go against it, they stop to exist. So like the number one part of manifestation is also to become who we are. In the sense that if you have the power, then you can create through that. It helps us to fight a good fight. When you focus on love, everything else and to focus is also to love, because this is the attention place, right? You just have to give attention to something and it grows. Like our house plants, having a good life, a happy life, a positive life, to have positive goals and dreams, and honestly to feel good about yourself, because you are protected, you are focused, you are in some ways free, So that's why I wanted to talk about time today. because I really feel inspired by my plexus, because by this chakra, because first is when I always had problems with, in a sense of confidence, because I always doubted myself a lot. And why? Because I'm an empath, and so like other people's lives are really important to me. And so I became other people to serve the others. It's actually an act of love, but it's something that's not really in this place, because this place is a place that once you go through it, once you open that chakra 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, once you open it and open it and open it, and you start to open your universe too, suddenly the now is a place that holds all time, because it also holds the past and the future that you wanted to annihilate and to be in the now. This now can accept all of those times, And so you understand that who you really are is a matter of focus. And once you understand that the moment of now is eternal, because you are everything and you contain all time, it's not really you, it's reality that contains all the time. But once you focus, and you have the ability to focus on everything you want. Once you focus on something, all reality that it's positive for that what you would call it, mission, is presented to you from all life you have lived. How to put it this logically? Every fraction of the time that it's positive, that's gonna help, or that it's connected to that goal, to that wish, to that wanting, is gonna come, and suddenly you are able to connect, to different times of you, right? Probably gonna do another video about this. Yeah, stay tuned. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much for the people who already subscribed, and I'll see you soon.